Hey y'all, I'm Bohemian with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart Readings, and today we're going to get into a pick a card that is about their secrets. Only fitting on Scorpio season. Happy birthday, Scorpios, and happy birthday to whoever season it is when you guys come and watch this later on. But current upload, Scorpio season. We also have Mercury that went direct today, and a bunch of other things that are happening on this day that I'm not going to get into collectively, y'all. Whew. But yes, we're recording November 3rd, 2020, so you already know. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this read and see what are this person's secrets. Okay, anything that we need to know about. Now I am I am very good at this. I read psychically and intuitively as well, but I will say that if I see anything that seems too private, I'm not going to, I may allude to certain things, but I'm not going to give every little detail of the person. For instance, if they went through abuse, I might say, okay, it looks like this person went through some things and abuse, but I'm not going to get into details because that's their story to tell. The same as if, you know, we were to see, I'm not going to out anybody, and I'm just saying that because I've seen other times when I'm like, ooh, pick a card, secrets, and in the comments people are being very derogatory and, you know, like homophobic and just like, I bet this person's in the closet and this and this, and I'm just like, you know what, that's probably why they wouldn't tell you, because how you're acting, and that wouldn't really be for a reader to be, you know, putting all that out there anyways like that, in my opinion, because of safety concerns. So for that person, so I will, you know, I'm going to keep it light on certain areas if things do come up, but I will let you know, what it is we need to know so that you can start asking questions yourself or having heart to hearts with that person, communicating, you know, and get a little insight and info here. Of course, with personal readings, we can get more specific. We can discuss your situation. So right now, I'm like, oh, am I doing personal reads? No, I'm doing them live. So I go live and I have personal reads on there. So join our lives. I usually pop up pretty much every day, every other day, doing live readings. You'll see them on the channel, they'll pop up, and then I delete them after, so you can always get a reading on there. Okay, all right, so let's get into this. We have our spiral tan seashell, we have our creamsicle seashell, and we have our tulip seashell. Okay, A, B, C. Go ahead and pick one. You can pick things for multiple people. If you're drawn to more than one option, shoot, maybe they got a lot of secrets, honey. Okay, go ahead and pick them. That's all right. So I will see you on your timestamp. Here we go. I feel like this group's be playing around because I'm having this song stuck in my head that is from one of the little kids video from Baby Magic, where it's the monkeys and they're like ooh ooh ee, like singing like a monkey in the song. And so I'm like, I feel like this group, maybe they're Year of the Monkey, or they're just super playful, like not quite a clown, but they just be playing too much. Or maybe you enjoy, you're like, no, they be playing. Okay, let's see what we got. Ooh, manifestation spell. This person could be a secret spell worker. They could have goals and manifestations that you don't know about. Okay, they could be waiting for some gains to come in, and yeah, they don't really tell anybody. They move in silence with a lot, actually. There could be some hidden messages, emails, text, information. This person seems like the kind of person that, were they to get like, they would just be super private. Like, they would be the person, if they got accepted into college, to like not tell everyone at first and just like sit there and think about it and mull it over and think about how it's going to change their lives or how they manifested it or something. They might hide job offers and stuff at first just because, I don't know, they just have to like mull things over and really think it through. They could have Scorpio in their chart. They could have moon in Scorpio or Virgo for sure. They could also have an Aquarius moon. Those are the signs that I'm seeing too: Scorpio, Aquarius, Virgo. Whew. Yeah, I think they get nervous. I also feel Gemini energy, so there can be that one side of them that before they get chatty and share all their business, they try to like keep some things private before they get to that point. This person hides how emotional they are because they know they can be fickle with their emotions. with certain emotions, they're like, no, this is just going to pass, so I might as well not even get out there and share it like that. And then on the other side, they feel like they are so loyal to certain emotions that they just can't even get into it, right? Because it's going to be deep, and they feel like the people who are loyal to them and that are around them in their life just know. So they could have Taurus moon as well. We have hedgehog, cat, and moon here. This is moon from an oracle, not from tarot, if you're not looking at the screen. We have pumpkin. Make sure, okay, I'm fitting it all on the screen. Okay, I'm gonna have playing cards that I'm reading here, but I'm reading them in Lenormand style, through the way of the Black Gold Lenormand. This isn't them, although they're black and gold, by Grandma Baby. Check it out, the Black Lenormand. I'm gonna be ordering it or pre-ordering it hopefully soon. But they have the guidebook online for free, so check out their website and have their style of reading playing cards as Lenormand anyways. Because yes, traditionally it's not just read as tarot. That's kind of a modern thing. I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video, so I'll just repeat it in each option. All right, so here we go. More about this person. Yes, this person is I think they hide how stubborn they are about certain commitments internally. Like maybe they don't seem like earth sign presenting or something, and internally they really hold to things. It's like their extremities of how stubborn they are and how fickle they are, they hide from people, and they try to come off just maybe a little zen, or just balanced, or like they don't have such extremes. But they can have a whole side of them that's like, it's almost like they have one side of them that's always talking trash and always changing alliances, allegiances with everyone. And then they have another side that's like super stubborn, really hardcore, ride or die, has its set goals. And both of those are just like internalized in their head, but they don't show them to anybody. And then they just try to pick what's in the middle, in the middle of, things here. Yeah. This person also has friends that nobody else knows about. This is the kind of person, they might have friends in high places nobody will know. They could have they could be friends with like a famous person because they wouldn't tell their business. They could have a friend that they've slept with before or something, and it's not a big deal to them. They wouldn't feel like they needed to tell their partner that they had that. So I do see that here. Someone said, "Oh snap, I knew it." Okay. Yeah, this person just feels like their emotions are their own, and they don't need to tell everybody, even their own partner, how they really feel about things. Like, it's just not their business. This talks about encaging their spirit, fertile power, okay, and cherishing the day that comes, tasting with the butter of velvet upon the tongue as the gift. It's just like they just have this very indulgent and indulged internal self, okay, for sure. Seriously, if you guys are dealing with this person through social media and you've never met them, I get the feeling almost that this could be someone who is like low-key famous, or has some kind of high position where they're known in society, and this is like their burner account. So this might seem so strange, but I really get that. Like, I feel like for some of you, you're asking about somebody online or something, or you're like, is this person real, right? Are they catfishing me? And they do. We got the cat. They ain't trying to be fishy, but they're just trying to let the cat out the bag to play a little bit. Okay, so this person could have, and if not, if you're like, well, I know this person in life, they could be known in some other corner of the world that you don't know about. So they could have like loyal followers. Like, you could find out, like, holy shit, I didn't know you were a low-key gamer. Like, you're in the underground gaming scene or something. Like, what? They have something like that where they just have this whole other side to them where you're like, man, I didn't know you were a skateboarder. I didn't know, like, there's some other side here. We did say Aquarius, Scorpio energy here. They could have some Pisces, could be a little Aries. So I feel like they have quite a lot of signs in their chart for a lot of you, and that makes sense because it's like they have various parts of themselves that they express in different areas of life. Okay. Yes, so this person, we got the 8 of Diamonds, the 9 of Hearts, and the 7 of Hearts here. So I feel like this person, they definitely try to be on the move. They're definitely way more ambitious than you would think. That is something that if you're like, no, I know about their ambitions, they have secret ambitions they haven't revealed. So they might even give a red herring and pretend that they are ambitious about one thing, or just sacrifice information on one thing that they have, a goal they have their eye on, while they're eyeing something else completely. This is the person that could be like, oh no, I'm not interested in becoming a celebrity or something, and it's because they're trying to marry into royalty over here on the side, and right, they got a whole other double life over here on the other side. Okay, this is the person that could find their doppelganger, switch lives with them, and be okay with that. Like, they just have this other part to themselves where they have a whole other like lifestyle, agenda, mindset. And I don't feel like it's always negative. I don't feel like for everyone it's like, oh, they're cheating. It's just that they don't give their full self to everybody, and um they don't always just kind of volunteer information, is what it is, about different things that they're interested to in. And then they might just, boom, one day they'll put it out and they're an author, and you're like, what? I haven't even seen you read. What? You just put out a book in a language you don't even speak? Like, I've never even seen you read. You don't even like to text. You just call me on the phone. I don't understand. How did you just put out a whole ass book in Portuguese? Like, you know what? Or the Portuguese, Chinese, whatever. And so they have that kind of energy where they just are like, well, that's me. But they have little pockets of themselves, and they just don't feel like you can demand, or any individual can just demand that they have to tell all their different sides or be all their different secrets. And sometimes I think they don't even think about it. Like, they're not thinking of, oh, I'm being shady, I'm hiding this and that. But it's just more that, I don't know. It's just how they are. It's just how they are. If someone doesn't synchronize with one of their aspects of self, they just tend not to share that information, right? So it's like one set of friends might know them completely as like the foodie, as the person who makes the weed brownies, all this kind of stuff, and the other set is like knows them as a number cruncher, a computer hacker, like totally different things. Although you could be both, you could. So I feel like that's how they are. It's just really interesting to get to know them, for sure. They could even have different nicknames and everything in different areas. Just one of those kind of people, for sure. Move in different circles, high life, low life kind of vibes. Someone say, yeah, sound like. Okay, so they also have this, yeah, they have this center of self where I don't feel like they ever truly feel displaced. They could be where I don't know, I feel like this person, they could travel. This is like, if we're looking at Lenormand, this is like the writer in the tree. So I feel like they can travel, and always have a sense of home. Yeah, they can fit into many different scenes. And again, this is a secret because they might come off as if they just live in one place, or as if they just go to work, or, to hang out in certain areas. They might not show, again, that they know all these different languages. You might know a little bit, like for instance, you might know that their family immigrated to where you currently are, but you don't know that they also know Swedish and Italian and all these different things. So they just have something about that where their spirit seems very traveled, or their knowledge is, or they have physical experiences where it's always like, what? When did y'all live in Japan? Like, when you were 2 and you remember that? Like, what is going on? They just always have some kind of information, like. And I feel like this kind of person could surprise you because they can side with, or understand and empathize and even relate to people that you wouldn't expect them to. You might be like, oh, they would never like this kind of music. They would never follow this type of logic, or tolerate these kind of things, and you have no idea that they're like, are you kidding me? Like, I freaking love roller derby. Like, what? My best friend's little sister's in there. We went there, and we went every Saturday, So they're just like this. They just have all these little pockets in their heart where I think if they trust you, it can be very fun, because then you'll start finding things out. But yeah, sometimes what happens in Fight Club stays in Fight Club. That's this person, for sure. They might not even know sometimes all their different selves, because they just switch into each mode while they're enjoying. So they kind of have different groups of friends, different loyalties, different just different headspaces. It's reminding me of this person who has an Aries sun, Aquarius moon, and Venus in Gemini, right? So it's like they feel like they're genuinely themselves in each moment, and they're very passionate, but they relate to so many different cliques, right? They're like a thespian. They try out all different things for their art, for their craft, being an actor, and they just, I don't know, they just have so many, like they can, know stuff from being over here talking to this bike gang, and then stuff over here from equestrian, and stuff over here from being, jungle survival, and over here, like that's just how they are. And so they, it's almost maybe to them feels impossible to just discuss everything of who they are, okay? So we have the World card, okay. Let me go on here. The World card, the Ten of Swords, and Judgment. Yeah, I feel like this person feels that people don't deserve to know everything about them because people are too judgmental. They're like, yeah, actually, I have, for instance, maybe they're like, yeah, I have done hallucinogenics or whatever. Like, why should I tell you though? Because you see me this way, and you're closed-minded about it, so I just be quiet when you're talking crap about it. Or, yeah, I actually am okay with people who have open marriages. Or so I just feel like they're just way more open-minded than they seem like they are. They've probably experienced and experimented with different things that they haven't talked about, or again have friends, or just support people who have just a huge variety of things here. They also have the key too, so they could also have heritage that you don't know about from different places. Maybe they haven't really felt the need to talk about it, so that could be another thing as well. For some of you, this person could have land or be tied to a homeland that they actually know about that they haven't really discussed. You might be like, oh, I always thought that you were from New York, and they're like, no, my family's from over here in Arkansas, and we got all this. So yeah, I feel like it doesn't quite stop with this person, and that's why they don't tell everything, because people will just be like, oh my god, do I know you? Like, is it possible to know you? Like, it's just every little detail is different, and it's really just going more in depth because we have Pluto over here. um but yeah, this person's well aware that sharing who they are and what they think can be stressful on them. It can be exhausting. To other people, there could be a lot of judgment. We have Saturn and Pluto, and people just feel like, no, basically you're just showing the ass, right? You just, it's too much, why are you doing all that? Like, judging their beliefs. It's kind of like how people pretend to be open-minded, but then they are like, ooh, I don't want a partner who is into more than one gender, or whatever it is. So for them, they're like, it's not about me lying, it's just about me. One, I don't think about it because I'm just doing me, and two, if I do think about it, most of the time people are just shady and judgmental. So why go out of my way and try to start explaining roller derby and my book in Portuguese and that part, this culture and that culture, and that, why explain all that and put all that out there for people who just are determined to misunderstand or judge, or even kind of fetishize it, or just use it for their own little study, pick my brain. So this could be the person too, where they get really annoyed and really tired of people like, oh my gosh, you're actually from such and such, tell me something in your language or whatever. And it's just kind of like this, like, they don't want to feel like an animal in the zoo, I think. With some of their talents and their skills, some of them might have had to perform on stage when they were younger or something, or they just always felt different, and again, kind of just exoticized or fetishized by people. And so they don't want to be taken advantage of. They don't want people stealing their ideas and their story and stuff. They also just don't want people treating them like on a fake pedestal just because, ooh, some juicy entertainment, and then what do they get out of it? So I feel like they keep a lot about themselves under lock and key, with like a bookmark to develop it and share it with the world at a different time, as they want to. And then some parts of themselves, they just kind of want to keep it, in their little bucket, their little buckets. I don't know why I said buckets, but in their little pockets. Okay. Yeah, so I don't really see something incredibly like seedy from this person. I'm not like, oh wow, they got a hidden child or something. But mostly I just feel it's almost like every little detail this person could could just really surprise you. Like, this is the kind of person, if you go on a trip with them, or if you were to ask them to really take you around their city or something, wherever their stomping grounds are, it would be like what, the movie where they're just like the one character's following the other character they just met and just shocked, like, whoa, you know, the people at the fish market, you know, the people at the underground fight club, you know, the people over here in the bougie palace, like, what is going on? How many hats do you wear? Are you just jack of all trades? What's going on? So yes, or it could be through different periods of their life. Basically, this person's one lifetime is as if they've had 8 or 9 incarnations. We have 7, 8, 9. Okay, like they've done it. Okay, to the hilt over here. So much has gone on in their life. Actually, we have 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we have 20 and 21. So yeah, they have lived so many lifetimes. So sometimes if you catch something, you're like, wait, does that even make sense? Like, does that contradict? How did you grow up in Boston when I thought you grew up over here in Philly? You know, they probably have moved a lot, or just have, you know, they've been incorporated, like checkerboard. They have a lot of different types of life that they've lived. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for them. Hopefully that can get you thinking in a different way about them, or maybe find a way for you to get some more information, earn their trust, because they definitely seem super fun and super interesting, to be honest. My Aquarius placement likes this kind of energy. My Scorpio placement too. Like, ooh, okay, right? A little intrigue, a little unknowingness about them. Let's dig in and see, right? All right, I hope you like that. Please give the video a like, and I'll talk to you again on another one. All right, option 2, if you chose our Creamsicle seashell, what are some secrets? What are their secrets? Or what is their secret if it's just one big old juicy one? Let's see, we have the cauldron, containment. We have snail. Look, they're slow. That's the secret. They just take forever. Lion. They got the look. They could be a lazy lion. Leo have entered chat. We have transformation. We have Leo, Scorpio, and Earth, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo going on so far. The elements. So this person could have all elements in their chart, which means fire, air, earth, water. They could have a bit of all the signs somewhere throughout their chart, and they can be pretty fire, earth dominant too, with some Scorpio. All right, this person, they do have some things sometimes where you think they're being secretive, but they're not. They're just containing themselves. It kind of reminds me of Aries. A lot of times people feel like, Aries, what are you lying about? What aren't you saying? And Aries are like, just shut the F up and leave me alone. Like, if I spoke my mind right now, then everything would blow up. So it's not like they're trying to, I mean, Aries can't really hold a secret too long. They really can't. Maybe if they have a lot of other placements that help them. But, you know, there's that obviousness there. So I feel like with this person can hold some secrets. But quite often when you're feeling something, you're like, is something off? Are they lying? Are they hiding something? They're actually not. They're just like trying to like stuff down their emotions that are trying to bubble up and like blah. I feel like they have huge reactions to things, and they try to transform them within, and like, okay, count to 10. Like their eyes are all count to 10, like mull it over, stop being so critical, like slow it down, turn the boiler off. So I feel like maybe when they're younger, something, they had a more explosive temper about things. They definitely could have been through trauma and some violence and stuff when they were younger, and have some really like yucky family dynamics and stuff that happen. So for them, they try to circle through, okay, what part of my personality can best manage this situation at this moment without me coming out besides myself, okay, is something that they have to go through. So yeah, there's going to be times where they react really weird, that they're actually not hiding something, but they are just trying to keep themselves together, contain it, contain their reaction. And you might be like, oh, I can still tell what the reaction is, especially with the earth signs. You can tell when earth signs are thinking something snobby or rude or whatever, just their little nose just sneers up, right? Could be a little Libra too. But with this person, they are trying to immediately catch like the thought or feeling and process it a different way. And like, so if they're aware that they're too critical or whatever it is, they are trying to like switch it up. They could have some Aquarius in their chart as well. Okay, but this person, they don't forget. Like, they could have Mars and Earth for sure, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, because they don't forget their long-term plans. And that's the thing, people will come and go and think that this person forgot what they were originally about, and they didn't, not at all. They transformed in their life. They could have relocated, they could have stopped talking to certain people, but if they said they were going to accomplish something way back when, they're going to do it. They could, be derailed, go in debt, have all these different things happen. It could be 20 years later. They are still focused on it. And it's not a secret. It's just like they already said it. This is the kind of person, they will say something once or allude to something once. And if people don't, connect with them on that, and or listen to them or have them expand on it more, they're not going to say it again. They're just going to slowly take the path until it's eventually done one day. Again, it could take a long time. They are way lazier than they seem. I think they're hardworking, but I think also they can be a bit more self-sabotaging. They have their downtime sometimes because they transform and then they feel exhausted, and then they can just delay their lives for a while, and then they get frustrated with that, and they get frustrated seeing everyone else doing what they would do, so then they gear back up. Okay, but yeah, this person, they hold a lot of family secrets. They hold a lot of secrets of those around them who have gone through a lot of trauma too. They kind of house that. There's somebody people come to and just pour into, pour into, pour into, pour into. Again, that water energy, that scorpionic energy that's here. People, excuse me, they could definitely have Pisces 2 or 12th house placements, because people tend to dump all their stories, their histories, their problems, their issues into this person. And this person can sometimes literally physically feel weighed down. They might even physically gain weight in relation to feeling weighed down by other people's stuff. So sometimes if you're getting readings about them, or if you're feeling emotional energy changes from this person, again, it's not their secrets. It's probably that they're holding everybody else's energy too, and they could be frustrated about that, or mulling it over, or have stuff from the past that comes up suddenly. So one of their secrets is that their past secrets that they're holding for other people, or of things that they've went through that were very harsh in childhood and stuff, come up sometimes, and then they just look like they tune out. They could be someone who goes and uses some other substance like weed or something, and they just need to, like, they feel like they just need to zone out, slow life down, like, I can't do all this right now. Okay, let's look at their playing cards. So I'm reading these ones as Lenormand, not as the tarot style, which is more modern, and not just as the fortune card style. I'm reading them. Check out the Black and Gold. This isn't them, but check out the Black and Gold Lenormand by Grandma Baby, which is so cute name. It's a melanated, it's a black African American Lenormand, and I want to get it. It's on pre-order right now, I think. Again. Okay, yes, so this person, they're aware of everything. They can come off as, I don't know, I feel like sometimes people either see them as being very cunning, or being completely like delusional and missing what's going on, and they're neither. Like, they pick it up, but they have to sort through what they can mentally handle at the moment. And so sometimes they will just evade a situation and be like, no, I'm no longer going to think about this, because this is like the clouds, the mice, we have the fox here. It's like stressful energy that this person will feel. They're highly stressed, and I think people who know them well can tell when they get like that. But a lot of people think, oh, look, like the lion, oh, you just snobby, oh, you just, and like we said, they can be a little snobbish sometimes, but like overall, people just feel like, oh, you're fine, you're just being bougie, you're just being snobby or something, you just or oh, they're clueless, they didn't catch on, and they're just sitting over here like, I caught on to every single thing that was said. So this person, if they feel like they can't handle processing something at this moment, again, it could be because of past stuff coming up, it could be just because they don't feel like it's for them, or it's overwhelming for them to deal with. They will just ignore it, or again, they could smoke or drink or something. They will I'm getting like NyQuil too. For some people, they could take sleep aids and stuff. Like, it can be worse than people think it is, or the reasons they're doing some things that people see externally isn't because they're trying to party, they're trying to do this and that, they're trying to be like so cool, you know what I mean? They have a kind of a James Dean vibe to them, like where he was actually kind of more, tortured about things than people thought, and people are like, oh, he's just like this cool, bad boy or whatever, right? And then you're like, oh shoot, like he's really got some other things going on, right? So this person does have a lot of fear fears that they try to deal with. They have a lot of stresses. They have a lot of doubts about themselves, even if they come off very confident, which is why it takes them a long time to accept who they are. Again, it could be because of abuses and stuff they went through. It's like they're the whole package with the elements here. They can fit in anywhere. They could do anything, but they don't always know how to get that externalized from themselves. Some of them could have even had like a stutter or a speech impediment, or a slowed down learning path in school, things of that nature. So they could have a big hunger to prove themselves and to better articulate themselves. I feel like this is a person that internally they can communicate way better than they can externally, and it's very frustrating for them. So they could have like Asperger's, or, and again, these things could be things that are hidden from other people, and they might not show it at all. You might be like, well, this is my boss and they're super, seem to excel at everything and be ahead at every single thing they do. And that could either be what they've learned, because we do have transformation here. They've learned how to adapt. Like this person could even have the secret, like they're actually left-handed, right? In the world where everything's made for right-handed people, but they've learned to be ambidextrous or to be right-handed. So like this is the kind of person that who they are for some reason quite often isn't what the established mold is built for. And so they have to go and learn how to accommodate everybody else in order to be themselves. They could also have a different language as their first language, because this reminds me of some of my beloved friends who it's like they think in a different language at first, and then they switch into the language that they're speaking with, but maybe it's not always safe to reveal that they came from another place, or what their original language was, or things of that nature, or people will treat them differently if they don't think that the whatever prominent language you guys are speaking is their first language. Maybe their family didn't want them to openly speak their first language, so that could also be something here, why sometimes their mind's kind of checking out and like the thinking about something else as they're trying to translate information. And sometimes they might get overwhelmed and be like, oh, I'm so frustrated because I can't articulate, I can't even joke or flirt or try to articulate this topic that I'm very, very passionate about, because I can't express everything quickly enough or as accurately as I want to, were I to say it in this other language, or were I to have more time. So they can feel very rushed in conversations, and just really be annoyed by that. It could also be regional. Like sometimes I know people from the South, right? Sometimes are, well, it depends, because look, family on both sides, some are fast talkers, okay? But there's some areas where you just talk slow, like what you rushing for? And they could just be like, okay, I'm just not going to say anything. I'm not the strong silent type, but you just are always talking, and I'm not going to rush my thoughts and my conversation that quickly to try to communicate with you, okay? But this definitely is a person who I think sometimes they will leave off conversations or kind of move away from people, not because they want to, but because they feel they need to. They feel they're very sensitive to energy. They have a very Aquarian energy about them, 11th house energy, strong Uranus or something. So they sometimes are intuitively led to not mess with certain situations or to stop interacting. So they could be seen as like someone who kind of ghosts people or kind of fades out more. And it's not that I think they always want to, it's just almost like this force that with the elements here, like they're just meant to. This is the kind of person that they could have a dream, or even sometimes it's not so like sparkly spiritual as a dream, but they might suddenly get like the wind blows when they're out for a walk or something, and they suddenly are just hit with this energy that they should stop communicating with someone, and they don't really sit there and be like, oh, it was the spirits talking to me. They kind of translate it more as just strong intuition and like common sense in a way, but they just get this feeling that, okay, like I'm supposed to go here, not there. I'm supposed to change something in my life. So sometimes they can seem a little erratic to people, like what motivates them? Like I don't get what motivates them. Does anything? Like, do they care? Like, why do they act the way that they do? That might be why you're here. But sometimes they just sense doors of opportunity, and suddenly they just know that something's meant for them, and it's like they double back or they jump ahead and they get through these loopholes, into success. So sometimes people around them might be like, I didn't even think you were interested in going for this job. And then all of a sudden you showed up, auditioned, and you got it. Like, you knew that I wanted that job, right? So their friend could feel hurt. I'm even smelling grass. Like when you cut grass, the scent of it that we like so much is grass warning other grass that like something's around it that will hurt them or kill them. Because it's like their little blood and stuff, their little chemical release. So yeah, I feel like sometimes people have that like low key, like, oh, watch out for this person because they're cutthroat, or they will get you when you're not thinking about it. But this person, yeah, they pay attention to vibes. If it's not syncing up, they will walk away, they will move away, they will kind of sweep up those loose ends and jump in, like, quantum leap into the next cycle of whatever was meant for them. But at the same time, if a little portal kind of suddenly opens back up for them to reconnect, they can do that too. So this person's secret is that they can be very unknowable in that way, because it's kind of, they're just led by the ethers. They're very much like the Fool card in that sense. Like, they really are. And again, it overwhelms them too sometimes, because sometimes they don't know why they cycle through with somebody, and they couldn't tell you why they are supposed to stop dealing with someone. So they're not sitting here looking at, oh, soulmates, and this is the rules and this is the laws. They're kind of like the Fool who's like tightroping through the universe and truly connected with destiny and fate in a lot of ways, continuously moving towards certain goals that they've committed to, but at the same time, like, kind of like Flash appearing and disappearing all over the place. And on the outside, they could just seem like they got it together, everything's planned, or everything's chill, they're not worried about planning anything. But inside, it's like lightning flashes of information. I feel like their mind works different, definitely. Like, I feel like a beautiful mind kind of thing. They might have synesthesia, or they might have something with numbers. They could have dyslexia. They could have anything that people see as your mind working differently. And I feel like it just, the universe talks to this person a little differently than it does to others. And so they just have to follow their impulses. They have to follow these big waves of, I feel like they're very connected to the actual elements, air, fire, something they just feel it. They feel it in the wind sometimes when it's time to move. They can't explain it. They just have to listen to it. They feel something pull them in the water. They just feel certain things, even if they don't articulate it or connect the dots. And they are meant to just have, to kind of follow the ethers and have a erratic kind of different path. Y'all, we didn't even do your tarot. I was just like sewing the loopholes. Let's look at the tarot for this person. So the tarot for Creamsicle, option 2 or B, we have the 3 of Cups. Okay, here we go. Here's the secrets. Y'all said you did all this talking. Can you tell us, like, what's the deep dark secret? The deep dark secret with this person, they're very experimental. They could identify differently than the body they came into, for sure. Their spirit could relate to something different. They're very like, this is a Knight of Cups. Here we have the Devil and we have the 3 of Cups. They're very intuitive about how they connect to the world, and they don't really feel like, again, they'll fit in, they'll do it, but it's obligation and it's restriction to them to have to pace themselves and mold themselves to how the physical world is. The other side of themselves just wants to be free. So they kind of think of things how a free mind or how a free spirit would think of things. Not to say that they don't have, like, when they're in that mold of like have to fit the matrix, they could almost seem like a little taskmaster if they're like your boss or something. I don't know why I keep getting boss, like they want to be the boss. But when they are not inside of that, then they have this other energy where they want to explore, they want to just be free, okay? So they definitely have a freaky wild side. They could have different attractions than you're supposed to, like supposed to. For instance, this person could be attracted, like they might like that their body ages, and instead of being obsessed with like youthfulness, they could like to see the different changes on their body through aging. Again, they could relate to dressing or being a different body type than they were incarnated in. This person could also, now I do feel like this person is like sleeping, they're sleeping with one person but in love with another person. We do have in this deck, the 3 of Cups is third party with the Knight of Cups and the Devil. So I feel like this person has a hard time syncing up their sexual self with their emotional self. They could have Gemini or Mercurial energy in their 5th house or 8th house. They could have like Venus or Mars in Gemini or Eros or something. They could have Mars in their 3rd house. There's some kind of energy there where there's a duality with their sexual expression, but also where they kind of have, like, they separate love and sexual energy. So they could have where their Mars is not harmonious with their moon, or some kind of squares, major squares between like their Venus Mars or their Sun Moon, something like that. Because they how they express love and who they fall in love with is quite often different than who they're sexually attracted to. Or they can just have some programming where they feel like, going back to that earlier reading with the childhood and stuff, where they feel like who they can let in emotionally, they don't feel safe doing sexual things with them. It could be out of trying to protect them, actually, because when they feel romantic, they feel very innocent and vulnerable, and they want a very pure feeling there, and they don't always equate sexual energy to that, okay? So they can have one person that they want to like cuddle with and snuggle with, and it's just all cute and sweet, and then the other person that when they want to have this like exploratory sexual escapades, that's who they connect with. So if you're the person that they are having sex with, I'm sorry, but I don't think you're the person they're in love with. Now, if you're not sleeping with this person, but you guys are interacting romantically, I feel like that you would be the person they're in love with, but they could be sleeping with somebody else, okay? For a lot of you, I don't feel like this person is like you're fully committed. You're probably in the dating process, or like the, sleeping together, what are we kind of process. But yeah, I feel like this person, it just has two different worlds, and it's hard for them to synchronize them all as one, or to kind of admit both sides. They could definitely have strong Virgo. Virgo is like this. Virgo is where they can have the whole picket fence and everything, but then you find out that they're dressing up in leathers out on some street corner doing whatever with whoever, because they're just like, wow, I gotta do something wild, you know? And you're just like, why didn't you just tell me? Like, I would have experimented too, right? But they just like, Virgos are really like that, actually. So it could be Virgo, Sun, it could be anything Virgo in the chart: Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Okay, it could be Virgo placements in the 8th house for sure, where they just feel like, I don't know, they like the energy of having like a very pure romantic partnership and then something freaky. Okay, and so that could keep them bouncing in and out of relationships, or it can keep them always kind of having to try to pick between two people. They could be trying to pick between earth sign person and a water sign person. So there could be Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo on one side, and Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio on the other. There could also be Libra. I do feel like their heart is leaning towards the water sign, perhaps Libran person, and that the sexual escapades have been going on with the earth sign person. Okay, yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. This person, and they know, they sense this mask and they sense this duality. But they have kept going back to this cycle. It could be because, as we saw with the snail and the other cards, let me grab them, I already put them over here. It could be because they haven't met their long-term goals yet, and so until they do that, they feel like might as well play around. Leo rules the 5th house. They're in between having a side that wants to be playful and exploratory, and having the side that constantly has this old trauma being like pushed back up into their face. Okay, so I feel like until they get to where they're like, okay, now it's serious, I'm ready for commitment time, and they're done with like the obligations, the part of them of life where they feel like they have to bow to what other people want, when they feel like, okay, I'm actually healed, then I think that they will harmonize this and be with one person and be able to fully work it all out together, and they will pull it together. But for now, I think they kind of know, this is card 16, which is the Tower. I think they kind of know about themselves that they're just not ready. So it could be because they've been through some things in childhood that they want someone they could just get nasty with, or just, work things out through BDSM and intense ways that they just don't apply to a partnership. It just doesn't feel, for them, I think they just feel safer doing certain things separately. Okay, and like I said, their spirit is a little different. In the spirit world, we don't have to necessarily have the same person that we are physically intimate with be the same person we're in love with. That's not how the spirit world really works. It's just something that we decide as a construct here in the physical world, right? So I think that's where they get a little caught up. Maybe for some of you guys are mad about this. Again, I don't feel like this is a person that if you try to control their spiritual path and be like, oh, well, this is a karmic and this and that, I think they'll just feel like, well, that's your karma and your reality that you're creating over there. Like, they know themselves. Again, sometimes it's a little much to try to figure out their own wants and needs and to heal their own little, it's kind of a few steps forward, few steps back, try to heal themselves, grow into the part of themselves that is bold while healing the part that's been very hurt. But they know that they're capable of it. And I do think they'll keep like, jumping through those loopholes, trying to find out how to make it all work. Maybe learning a bit more and more on that spiral as they go along. And I do feel like this person can be a little difficult because even when they really, really mess up, you sense in their spirit that there's something almost like a little young sometimes. Like, part of them feels like an old soul, but part of them feels a little young. Again, like the Fool card. So you get that they're trying to fix something. Like, they're trying to be a good person, but they make really freaking stupid decisions sometimes, or ones that are hurtful, at least if you're trying to have very concrete, foundation or results, or agreements with this person. That it's almost like they can't agree to something because they're not sure where they're going to be from moment to moment. Will they have to move? Will they suddenly have flashbacks to their childhood and want to work them out sexually? I do feel like this is a person who heals more through sex therapy. I think they do. Certain people are just like that. So that might be why they need to be, kind of single or not in a fully committed relationship, if they need to work things out that way first so that they can figure themselves out and then be healthy both emotionally and sexually for a committed partnership. If you're already in a relationship with them that is, serious and committed, that could be something that needs to be discussed. Maybe if you guys go to sex therapy, you can figure out if you guys can kind of role play that together, or, what dynamics need to be opened up, or I don't know, in your relationship. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for this person. Sorry that I almost ended your reading early. I might just edit that out. If not, I did almost end your reading early, so my bad. But then I saw your tarot over here, so that's what I see for you, group 2. I hope it was helpful for you in some way. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, and I'll see you again on another one. All right, group 3, what is their secret? Okay, I'm trying to look up there and see how long we've gone. What is their secret, or what are their secrets? Let's see. For C, the Tulip Seashell group, we have Spirit Initiation. I feel like we get this card a lot lately. Okay, they could have some new things they're starting up. We have Toad, Wildflowers, and Wings. This person's gonna glow up. They're always gonna glow up. You think you know their potential, you have no idea. This person knows that they have high potential. Coming of winter, yeah. This person knows that they have high potential, and they also know that people want to cut off that energy for themselves. They're very aware. So if you feel like, oh yeah, this person has money, or this person has big social energy, or they're very attractive, and people want to like latch onto them for that energy or those talents or skills that they have, they're very aware of that. But usually it's like people see it as potential, and they don't really mark them as having it together yet. So I think this person gets frustrated because they know that people like to keep them in like a diminutive space. Like, people like to be like, oh, you're my friend that could be so pretty if we gave you a glow up, or they would be a good partner if they could get it together and they could make this much money, right? So they're aware that people like to elevate themselves by trying to pick them up and fix them, but at the same time, these people are waiting to kind of get something from them. The example I can give is, I've talked about this before, is earth signs can be huge gold diggers, but they do it early, so people don't recognize them as gold diggers. So they, for instance, can find someone who's going to be a big actor or athlete or something, and they will purposely get in early, and when that person is like first getting scouted, first doing all that, and they will make it look like, oh, I was your day one, I was there all along. Really, this earth sign is gold digging the person the whole time, right? They're banking on the potential this person has, but because they play the humble route, right, it seems like they actually have good intentions, and like they were the ones holding it down. They were the ones fixing this person. They're the ones who made this person who they are. And then you have when that person makes it big and they're just figuring out more and more what this earth sign was really about, the earth sign gold digger in this case, they, they want to leave the situation. They want to leave. Oh, fine, you got what you want, you made it, right? And then everyone else is like, oh wow, how could you do that? You just left this person after all they did for you, right? So you might be an earth sign. If you are and you've been holding that energy with this person, you might want to watch out, because I feel like they're very onto you. But any sign can do that, but that's just a really good example of how earth signs can fly under the radar and people won't call them out. Versus if a fire sign or air sign is gold digging someone, everyone's talking about it. Everyone, if a fire sign is just dating someone who has money, wealth, or fame or something, people are like, oh, you're a gold digger, right? So for this person, they notice those who fly under the radar and who benefit from trying to hold them into a certain role of any kind, who get something off of their goodness, their energy, their light, while trying to kind of put them down and pretend that they're the savior of the relationship. Okay, they don't freaking like that, and I feel like they're about to snap. So yes, this person will soar, get to those heights and soar, and then throw someone off their back, and they won't care. They're fine. Call me the Toad. Try to tell everyone I wasn't actually Prince Charming. I don't care, because I knew all along what you had going on behind your back, what your motives were, why you were trying to get something. I knew you were just trying to have a kid for me. I knew you were just trying to, get me caught up. I knew you were just trying to get me pregnant. I knew you were just looking ahead, seeing that I was going to work really hard, or that I'd buy this house, or that I would make this fame, or, that I have this big family that loves me and will support me with everything. This person's aware. So they are, someone who's actually a wildflower, who others I think treat like a wallflower, right? And they're like, no, I get it, I'm about to blossom, I might be a late bloomer. They could have 11th house placements, 12th house placements, Aquarius, Pisces in their chart. They could also have Aries, where people get more focused on like the trouble and the false starts that they have, and their passions that don't seem to ever be fulfilled, or like their projects that never seem to be completed. But they're like, no, I'm gonna get there. Okay, one of these times I'm gonna catch the wind right, my kite's gonna take off. I know I am. And that doesn't mean that all these times you put me down or try to belittle me, that it's okay. And it doesn't mean that I owe you my success. So this is the kind of person that, they will shake everybody off their back when they get successful, because they'll feel like you really thought you could treat me however, like you really kind of benefited off that thought that you were more enlightened, you were doing better than me, you're a better person, you're more important or whatever, and you thought that I didn't know what you got from me as well. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have the Jack of Hearts, we have the Eight of Wands, we have the Jack of Spades, or Eight of Clubs, sorry, and Jack of Spades. I'm reading these as the Lenormand. You can go online to Grandma Baby's website, and they have a black and gold, not this, but a black and gold Lenormand that is African American Lenormand, and they have a free guidebook that you can download, and you can use it with playing cards too. So there's many ways to read these, as fortune cards. Modern times, people are really reading them as tarot cards, which is not traditional, or as Lenormand. Okay, so that's what I'm doing them for, as this. This person's name could start with a J, or your person, this person, your person, you, whoever's involved. There can be people that's names that start with J, James, Jessica, Jasmine. Okay, yeah, James, Jessica, Jasmine, Jessamine, could be some Y names as well, or I names. So there could be like Jessica, there could be Jekka, there could be Justina, Jameson, Jesse, Jadison, all different kinds of names, okay, that are here in this situation. Janet, Jack, Jacqueline. So with this person though, I feel like this person might have had a child before, okay? For some of you, you could be like, if you came here specifically to see did they have a child? I think they hinted they had a child. Okay, all right. But for some of you, I feel like maybe when they're very young, they had a child. I'm also seeing the name DJ, by the way, and JJ. But they could have had where somebody, it could have been very young. Somebody had gotten pregnant, okay, and there could have been a miscarriage, an adoption, an abortion that happened, where this person had this very intimate experience with this, with somebody when they were younger, or, it was just I feel like whoever their first time having a child with, that is like they hold that person very dear, and they have a lot of love and a lot of just heart and for that child, for that person, that partner, even if it didn't work out. Some of them might have even lost a child a bit older, okay, depending on the age ranges and everything that we're going through. So I feel like for them, children are something like you don't really play with. Now I have a few different storylines, so stay with me, okay? One, I feel like this person, whoever they have children with, if they have children that are alive, they really don't play with, like they love their children, okay? They really love their child. So if you were like a newer partner who came in and you think that you're gonna triangulate and do, like, there's whole schools of like a lot of times mixed in with like gold digging and stuff, but of like how to come in and be number one as a spouse and get them to like hate the other baby parent and the other children, and you should be number one over their kids. This person isn't really going to play that, okay? If you're watching this about your baby parent, I feel like this person does hold, if you're the first baby parent, okay, or if you're the one that they had the child with, I feel like they do hold you and the child in esteem over anybody who would be trying to harm you. So if they're with a partner who's causing difficulties towards their child or towards the parent of their child, that partner hears about it, and I don't feel like they're going to be with them very long at all. They look at them like, you're new, like this is new something. Even if they had married that person and it's been a while, so it's like a step parent thing going on, they hear about it. Like the person who's being rude to you and the child, they get told. If you're the one who is doing that, they're going to probably be cutting you off soon. So if you're someone who is trying to date them, be with them, and trying to get them to leave their child, go have a kid with you instead, or something, or if you're like the second baby parent, you're trying to attack the first one, the secret is that you're going to find out that they're not playing that. They're not playing that at all. And I've seen this happen too, and it didn't sit right. It was someone I cared about, but they started dating someone who already had kids, already had, they weren't with the other baby parents, but they got them to move to a different state, have kids with them and everything, and thought that made, had them putting up, being step parent to their other children, all this. And that person ended up leaving them and going back to their, making sure to connect with their other children too. So those situations can be very, very messy if we're trying to like play with kids. And I feel like this person, if they have fallen for that, because there is initiation, they could have been young, they could have been, acting up, a little old toad over here. I do feel like they're getting themselves together and they're just like, no, like, why? I can't let this continue. They could have been a child that grew up between that, being passed around from whether visitation or even just within one family that was always arguing and pitting kids against each other. It could have even been grandparents and aunts and uncles just pitting the child, like using the child like a pawn. So for some of you, they did enact some of that behavior at first, and maybe that's why you wouldn't be with them anymore. But this person is trying to learn. They're trying to like grow the hell up. And even if they made some very bad mistakes where they're not allowed to be in you and the child's life anymore, they are still holding you guys at heart. They still have a lot of love there, and I do think that you will hear that they're having another child and that they have, but it's not like they've moved on, and it's not like they're trying to replace them, but they will be trying to learn from their bad lessons. So for if you see them doing well in their parenting now and stuff, it's because they've tried to grow from the situation where, maybe y'all had kids young, or maybe someone tried to get pregnant on purpose and shouldn't have, or get someone pregnant and they shouldn't have, or whatever happened. Okay, I do feel like this person has really been working on trying to be better and like upgrade themselves and provide something different moving forward. Okay, but yeah, I'm seeing I'm seeing so much about children in this, but I feel like they have a lot of love and heart to their either their first love or the first person that they were. For some of you, they're connected to the first person they were intimate with, or the first person that they were engaged to. Okay, there's something there like that. All right. I'm just hearing my one by Mariba. You're my one true. You're my one true love. So circumstances could have pushed them apart from you or from this other person, but I do feel like they're going to want to go back. And I'm not talking about soulmates like, well, I'm the real soulmate and they're karmic. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the person they were with. Okay. Now, if you were the one that they went through school with and they kind of came up with and stuff, then I feel like that would be you. If the other person that they're with is newer, and I do again feel like there's some kind of third party, at least in their mind and in their energy. Okay, they're gonna want somebody who is very authentic. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Except for the storyline where they realized that they were very used. Now, if they had the person who was, and it could have been an earth sign or an air sign who had really been misusing them the whole time, in that case, I feel like they are burnt out on that person. They will always have a nostalgia, like a love for that person's spirit, and I think that they will always feel like that was their first love, so they might recall some of those memories and stuff. But if that person did really show them a negative side of them, I do think they will let them go this lifetime. But yes, there will always be that aspect, because that person was just such a part of them blossoming and growing, that there will always be some kind of love connected to that. Okay. But if you knew this person first, then again, of whoever they're currently with, I do feel like that you're the one they hold at heart, especially if you're a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You could be dealing with them dating air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Okay, let's get into the rest of the cards. This is a complex situation. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, so this person has a lot more fears and worries and stress than they let on. We have the Empress here. So yes, I mean, a lot of it is about family planning, kids, who is the big love that they're going to settle with. And we have the Emperor. You guys, it is so rare. And yes, I just shuffled these, put them all out. Okay, I didn't sit here, go through, try to get these both. We have the Emperor and the Empress. Okay, so these very rarely come out. It doesn't have to be like a cisgendered hetero relationship or whatever, but energy. Someone who might be a little bit more feminine energetically, and someone who might be a bit more masculine energetically. Coming together here, or just both, both of the two counterparts of a relationship. Okay, they are looking for their big partner. Okay, and like I said, they might seem over here like a toad. They have big plans for themselves. They know they're going to make it big. Actually, we mentioned athlete. Emperor could be the athlete for sure, who's going to make it big, and they want to make sure they don't care. I feel like they tend to bond, and have love for whoever it was that has been here. But again, we can see from their reading, if that person betrays them or if that person had bad motives, they will let that person go and bring in a new soulmate and try to love again and have a family again. Or if they have mistakes and they really messed up, they will always have love for that first situation, but they will try to reinvent themselves. They will try to grow and change. And right now it might not be evident because you're seeing them in the moment to moment. We have all these snapshots, all this social media to just zoom in every little slow motion moment of every mistake. But this person is planning on being a phenomenal parent. They're planning on being supremely successful in the physical world. They're planning to keep on growing. Don't stop. Grow, 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 grow. Okay, they're planning on having a partner who allows them that, a partner who is nurturing, a partner who cares about kids. I'm not playing. If you are trying to get this person, you better not be trying to play with kids. They will not respect you. They might keep you around for a bit, but they will probably dog walk you, because they do not respect people who do not take care of kids, who are not kind to kids, who are not nurturing to kids. They might relate if you had kids early and you made some mistakes or you were overwhelmed or something, because I think for some of you, they did that too. But they are like, nah, like we can't be doing that. So they could also do charity work for children. Some of you might have met through that. Free migrant children. They really care about youth, I feel, and they want a person who is very nurturing and protective, someone who has a balance with their kind of masculine, feminine energies. I just get the feeling that somebody is trying to triangulate this relationship and come in and feel like, well, I'm more entitled. I know how to play the game. I know how to be the gold digger. I know the right things to say to get you to break up or to come to me. And this person's not going to be fooled by it. They're really not. They could get caught up for a little bit, but if they do start getting derailed with someone who's not really meant to be with them, they will leave them. Even if they have engaged with them, married them, have children with them, they will leave. And I feel like they want a relationship that's very socially powerful. But if they realize, like, you're not really the one for me, you're not the one I should make a family with, we're better separate, they will leave that situation. And again, they have a mask on, so they might not show that. But and again, everyone else could villainize them. Oh, how could you leave this situation because you've been with them for so long, or you tolerated that for so long. But this person, they might cycle back to the original person that they had wanted to be with all along. So I don't think this person, if they're rejecting you and you know you have a really good connection and a lot of love there, they might be doing that because they don't want you guys to get into a build-a-boo situation, and they felt like that was just getting real tacky, it wasn't working. It's better to kind of be separate, and then when they build their life up for that empress or for that emperor, then you guys reconnect. So for some of you, that is what is going on as well. We have here the coming of winter. So I do feel like for some of you, this person or the kids involved could have been winter signs. So Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Yeah, comes in lullabies deep within your mirrored flesh. Alas, it is time to lay your quivering chest upon the winter's coming. So they can last a long time, and I feel like this person when they're ready and it's not yet, they will definitely make it known, and they will be very like vehement and very territorial about, this is the person I pick. I don't care how you're trying to like obsessive fan stalk me or whatever. This is who I'm with. I don't care what you think about how they look. I don't care what you think about whatever soul connection you think. I don't care if you don't think I should have kids with them, or if you think, I should have kids with you or whatever. Like, this is who I'm with. So that's what I got to say. This person's secret is they are not fooled with connections. They might have been slightly duped when they were a little younger, or they could have been acting out some very bad programming when they were very younger. Or they could have, made some, like, again, some really stupid mistakes themselves as well. But overall, they want to be a good parent. They want to be a good partner. They want to heal their feminine and masculine and the whole spectrum of energies there, and just be a whole person. They want a partner who is truly healthy for them. And they really are not attracted to whoever is being messy, who's ever fighting around kids, whoever uses kids to triangulate, whoever is just kind of a fake support because they want to kind of climb up on someone else's social status or clout. Whoever is like trying to break up other people's relationships. So even if you're like the person who you're supposed to be with this person, they won't be attracted to you if you try to break up their other relationships. They'll find that very disrespectful. Again, some of these things they might have done themselves, and they're aware of that, and they're aware they were a whole ass mess, okay, and that they need to get themselves together. But that's the secret. They will not find it attractive. It's not the saying they won't interact with you, okay? They will, because again, they're aware of their healing. They're aware, this is where I am right now. Okay, they're like somebody who it goes out on Saturday night and was like, and then in the morning it's like, I need a beer for my hangover. Like, bless everyone going to church. Oh, aren't they so great? But I'm gonna sit here and cure my hangover with a beer. So they have their moments like that where they're like, I see the enlightenment, like I get it. I'm woke enough to see the enlightenment, but I ain't walking into that right now. I got much stuff to deal with, but they will look at your motives. They will look at your motives, and I feel like the person who is the one who respects themselves, the one who, if there are children to tend to and tending to yourself, that you do that, the one who's not being the bully, the one who's not sitting here trying to wreck everything, invade everything, play mind games, do all that, that's going to be the person they end up choosing. It's probably and it's leaning towards, we have Cancer, Libra, Pisces. It could be Aries if you're a chill Aries and you're not one that's been losing your head. I don't get Taurus so much from here, and mostly because the reading has been very rough to Taurus. But if you are a Taurus who kept your chill, maybe if you're a Taurus and the other person was also an earth sign, then I think yes. If you're the Taurus who was on the negative side of this read, no, not at all. So it's kind of there's a few, there might be one or two Taurus that slipped through on this one. This person could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag as well. But yeah, this person's got big ambition. They plan to be on the big stage, okay? And to have a phenomenal love and family story. So that is what I'm seeing for you. I hope that was helpful and, lets you work out whatever you need to work out or have your info that you need to have, okay? Please let me know down in the comments how you feeling about that. And I will see you again on another one. Bye.